Yeah, just a moment. We will go on live in 10 seconds. Yeah, I'm live there. That's great. Okay. Um, Hello, my name is Peter. I'm sitting here in Copenhagen and is in this awful, cozy kind of bar, lounge in the center of Copenhagen, very close to Nørreport station, if you're familiar with that area. And yeah, did I say my name was Peter? So then I just say it again. I have to warm a little bit up. Sorry, guys. So I've not been done this for a while. So yeah, I just have to warm a little bit up. But the reason why I'm here is that because I have done be a coordinator of the meetup group called Demoscene, and it was the extended version was Demoscene Events of Denmark, and my original plan was to have a place where you could live broadcast different events, where on these events could maybe some person have a specific passion of some topic. It could be alternative medicine or whatever. And then I could live broadcast and interview this person, and then it could be brought out to a lot of people, hopefully. And I was using Meetup for attracting people to interact or maybe come to these events or see it on demand also. That's all this broadcast system can do all that. And at that time, I used the platform called Bambusa, a Swedish company that could facilitate these broadcasts. And it was for me very, very easy. And I knew to my fingertips this platform, but for some reason, or the reason is of course clear, but they have actually shut down this year the platform for doing free broadcast. Now you can pay, but it's totally different now. So that's why I'm not been, or the main reason I've not been broadcasting for some time at uh, Demoscene at meetup.com. And so I'm actually closing it today. And this is my last broadcast from that area or from that group. And I did do a notice or note in the group, and actually also my membership of this paying every 6 months is actually shutting down, also canceling tonight. So it's really definitive last final broadcast from Demoscene. But however, I have other also got into other kind of video area like production and editing, and very recently, actually last year, my cousin were starting her own business, taking care of dogs, and she had a little problems to reach people out. She used Facebook a lot, but she was complaining about not enough people were actually acting on. She could see there was a lot of people to look at the homepage, but there was no one actually getting back to her. So we talked, and I said, okay, I can try to make a little short video for you. And I've never done it before because, in my opinion, and usually in the old days, I didn't have any machinery that could keep up with these very demanding video editing tools. So I gave up totally for a long time ago to sit and editing video. So I have not done that actually, period, forever. But then I got this little task, and I was a whole day out to take a lot of shots, video shots around her care, dog care company and her routines there. And I got a lot around. I calculated 14 hours of clips, which I tried to put together in 2.5 minute promotion video. And it was actually quite fun because I actually had my iPad, which is the first iPad Air, and I could actually do it there. So, oh my God, I actually had some device that could handle these editing facilities, and I was kind of, oh my God. And then I could really see I have so much lack of how to, yeah, set the colors, how to set the sound, how to make a story, and all that thing. So that lead me to look for some place, and of course also meet up a group where they actually seems to work with these kind of things. And I went to one of the first meetings in this group, and a lot of people, like 13 people or something, and we talked together, and it was really cozy, and people have a lot of ideas. And I said, okay, this is the place because these people have all the skills I needed. And gradually I could see, okay, I have to go this way if I want to learn more and get more experience from other people to be better at to the direct video production area. I still doing live broadcast, but mainly I'm doing for concerts. I'm in a band also, so I will not stop with that. And later on, I will just cover the topic about in what direction I will go, and yeah, I will show you some really cool device later on, and also that this new meetup group called Copenhagen Small Video Project. Uh, the guy who had been managing this meetup, we had talked together, and he's talked also about he might make a workshop also about uh, yeah, live streaming. And actually, also last year I did a workshop, a place called Think, where we held a live streaming at this platform I talked about, Bambuser. And so, yeah, I have pretty good experience, at least in Bambuser. But now I have to use time for finding a new place, and it might be the platform YouTube because they actually have some good services for doing that, and also my approach to the new area or era of broadcast, and I now will relieve what you call it, yeah, show you the bit easier word, the 360 degrees area or era. I think that will be the future, but I will come back to that in a minute too. So back to the maybe now I have talked here for about 8 minutes, and the next I will do is that I will talk shortly about the workshop I did because of all this experience I got, and then I will actually invite like this the guy who is starting up this who had starting this other meetup group, Copenhagen Small Video Project. He's actually sitting here just beside me, and I will interview him about his project, and also I think he will say something interesting for you. Yeah, see here, this is Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hey guys. Hey.
Hey. Um, yeah, now you're here. How do you think things are working out for you now? I mean, with the whole thing.
I think it's gone really well. To begin with, we had a lot of interest in the video group we were creating. It was I think it was something new in Copenhagen, and I really knew that there was like a need for it because there wasn't anything else out there doing this sort of thing. So yeah, I just wanted to make it small videos instead of something large, because there was a lot of things on Meetup where they were doing very large videos, very big projects, and it's very easy to fall into that trap. But we've all got very busy lives, and you know, we just want to kind of learn how to make video and to know how to put things together. And so small video projects came out of this.
That's great.
Yeah.
I will get back to you in a minute because now you have got a little appetizer for this great guy and his wonderful English and everything. So
Well, I am English.
yeah, and I will interview him in the next couple yeah, for some time from now. So stay tuned and stay here. And I will now go a little bit into how I got into the live stream, because back in 2005 I got my first, for me, really smartphone. It was a Nokia 797 Mini, and at that time Nokia was, this very great big company. You know that? You know about Nokia?
Oh yeah, it
The
was
name?
bought out by Microsoft, wasn't it?
No, it's a Finnish company.
Originally, yeah.
Original, yeah.
Yeah.
Big company in Finland.
Yeah.
Original.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Back in 2005.
Yeah.
I got my first smartphone, and I kind of looked around and all these apps. I mean, it was not like, the thing is, Apple was not invented at that time. Apple, but the iPhone was not invented at that time. It was first in 2007, if I remember correct.
Yeah.
So I got this smartphone and I downloaded this app, Bamboozer. It had no correlance with name and what it could, but I took, 3 videos with that one, and I could see it was live broadcasting. So okay, and I was not thinking about that anymore. But 5 years later, Apple had been releasing the first Apple product, iPhone, 2007, and 5 years later, I got my first Apple 5, iPhone 5, which is actually the one I am broadcasting from now. And I could see a huge difference. The sound, the video quality, the streaming quality was so much better. And I continue gradually to work with Bamboozer. And with this, I have maybe done dozens of concerts broadcasting. I begin to actually also work with as late as 2000 and maybe 16 with the Meetup group. I'm just going to close down now. With this idea of go out and like broadcast some cool places and interview some cool persons, like here in a minute, and then this year Bamboozer is closing their platform. Oh my God, what to do? What to do? So actually, also a private thing. My father died last year, so that's also because I had to have time for so many other things. So I couldn't have time for doing these prepare these live stream interviews. But in the time, I go to think around and what to do, and then I came up with. I could see also a lot of places. 2 years ago, I think Facebook began with also live broadcast in their Facebook page, and YouTube have been there for a long time. And when YouTube suddenly got into the 360 degrees, and I got a pair of these here, goggles or something.
Oh, virtual reality goggles.
Yeah. You put your smartphone in, and then you.
I think you can slide it in the side here.
Exactly.
Put your smartphone in. And then you can look around in a virtual world through the lenses at the back.
The best thing is to sit in an office chair, which can be rolling around the vertical.
So much fun.
Yeah. But the thing is, you have to have a device for doing that. And in America, I got this little fella called Fly, and I got the 4K Fly. You can stream 4K. A lot of places, platform is not ready for 4K yet, but this is my future, and I hope one day you can sit in a concert with your Google.
I swear, it looks like something that you'd find in Halo. You know the game? You just have it floating on by. Very futuristic.
So this little guy, 5,000 Danish crown. But I have been testing a little bit, and there's a lot of potential in it, but it takes some time to really fine-tune the whole setup. I have done some concerts broadcast, and the sound is my problem. Still, I'm this guy. I like really good sound and good stereo sound, and I'm not got into a conclusion with that yet. But soon, I hope, maybe this year, you can sit with your for those who have these here with a smartphone, and you can sit up front, maybe to a concert, hear the concert in stereo, and you can look around people and sit in front and see all the choir or choir people and the bass and drummer on the one spot and the piano player on another spot. And
Almost like you're there.
almost
Yeah.
you are there for free, hopefully,
Yeah.
and have the best spot in the whole concert.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to. But in the meanwhile, I had this great guy Chris. And Chris, why? Okay, you said a little about yourself. Tell about more personal things about you, where you're from, and
Yeah,
why you're here, and yeah.
Yeah.
And you are picking up your girlfriend in a minute, I believe. So yeah, there's a lot
Oh
of things
yeah.
going on.
Yeah, no, busy life.
Yeah.
It's good to stay busy. Yeah, no, I'm from the UK, and I was living in Leeds for 5 years before I came here, and that was the time when I was volunteering for Leeds Television, doing some like journalistic video work. And I got into video way before then though, and was doing media studies at college in the UK, and yeah, I find it a lot of good fun. And when I was actually creating video in college back, I think I finished in 2004, which means that it was way before YouTube, way before smartphones, way before all of that stuff, and so it was. We didn't really produce any videos for YouTube, but we produced a lot of videos, and I think we would have become mini YouTube stars if we were producing those videos today. But yeah, so I progressed with that, went to Leeds Television, and then I came over to Denmark, to Copenhagen, because of my ex-girlfriend, but fell in love with the city and decided to stay here. It's a beautiful city. If you're not from Denmark, if you've not been to Copenhagen, it's definitely worth a visit.
But not in the winter time, not
No,
not
it
in the
generally
autumn.
wakes up around this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, like it's only just starting to get warm, and it snowed yesterday, didn't it?
It did.
Really weird weather recently.
So you kind of settled you down here and got a job and
Oh yes,
everything.
yeah.
is
I've been
begins
here
to-
for
yeah.
5 years now.
Oh my God! So you can
Yeah.
speak Danish now?
Almost, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danish
Yeah.
is a hard language to learn. So
It's very strange language as well.
and actually English is actually part of Jutland language. When you go
Okay.
to the eastern part of England, they actually have Jysk words.
Oh yes, especially
so
if you go up to
strange.
Scotland.
Yeah, also there.
Like for example, in Danish you'd say barn for child, and in Scotland they have like slang word barn for a child.
Oh, that's
So-
so amazing.
Yeah.
So fun to hear.
With the Vikings invading our country. you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
Yeah, and why I have invited Chris is that because I'm now closing down my meetup, and I'm actually part of Chris, and we have talked together along the way, of course, and also he's doing some workshops at the moment on a small video production. It's really cool, and you should attend these if you got into this group. And I think he will invite you. Wouldn't you invite them in? And
yeah, of course, you're definitely welcome. It's a very new group, so we haven't got many members at the moment.
Which is active. I mean, you have a lot of members. They're not so active yet.
Oh yeah, but I think that's generally with every group, isn't it? You get a lot of members, and there's only a few that's active, but you just need more members, and eventually you'll get more active people. But yeah, we are looking for more active people to be involved. We have our regulars like yourself and several others already, so that's pretty good. But we're looking for more people who will be coming more regularly and be more involved in the projects. And hopefully this will expand into something that's going to be
Self-sustaining kind of.
self-sustaining. That's a good word. Yes, yeah, exactly.
Because he's the promoter, and there's a lot of work for the organizer to promote and organize the workshops, which is, I mean, still everything in the beginning, but the topics and the discussion we have there is so, I mean, so fruitful for expanding how broad this area is. I mean, one
Yeah,
of the guys, he knows so much of video and history of why you are
He's really into movies.
why you are recording in 24 bit per minute,
Frames.
yeah, and things
24
like that.
frames per second and 30 frames per second. We've decided to go for the standard 30 frames since that's what YouTube uses. But yeah.
He argued why not, why we shouldn't, and but
Yeah.
the organizer have his will, so.
Yeah.
But it's of course important when you do all these clips because we have a pool of clips now, right?
Yeah. It needs
And
to grow more though.
and then you by these clips you can make your own video, and we recommend there you come up with a software to a laptop or to a desktop program. What was it called?
Lightworks.
Lightworks.
It's open source software. It wasn't always open source, so it's like a professional standard. There were, I mean, like, it is a very good software to start out with. And, I mean, once I meet you, I can discuss more about it with you.
Yeah, and if you are new to all this, everything is still new into this, so you will not kind of be put aside as long as you just ask questions. Be active. This is the most important thing in this group.
We
So,
always need so many different people with different frames of mind, different points of view. Even if you're working in logistics and you've never done video before, but you just have a little bit of an interest, then just come along and see what it's about and make some new friends. And you don't actually need to participate. There's plenty of people with cameras who want to participate, but it's always nice to have that extra person who would want to take some equipment and mess around with it and play about with it during production, or maybe
just good comments on everything.
yeah,
In
exactly.
general, yeah.
Just
And we actually have a couple of dancers in the group, which is not doing anything with cameras or behind scene or in the front of scene or anything, but they like to participate for some reason.
yeah, and we have a magician.
Magician too. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So come on over if you like to have something to do with video production. And yeah, I was thinking, can we maybe type something here? Should we try to say what is that is all about?
Yeah, you opening the chat? No, it's not opening. Maybe you can do it on the iPad.
Yeah.
Can you see how many viewers we got? Oh, one.
One. Oh my God, that's a one viewer. No, well,
We'll get more
we
viewers
we
later.
will get back to that. And I was not at all preparing for have anyone to view here or anyone with so short notice, but the totally luck, and it was meant to happen. And I asked maybe Chris could join this day because I thinking he was on work or something, so I could maybe catch up with him through a Skype call or something like that. But then he said he could come.
Yeah.
I mean, it was meant to happen. So that's awesome. So actually, normally I'm a little better prepared, but this morning I had not been sleeping too well, and I got a really long bath and did my yoga, and then I actually went to bed again. So I had so many things in my mind. So I actually not been. Normally I can do a whole hour of interview here, and. And the way is, I mean, my mindset is with the live broadcasting is that here you don't cut anything. I'm a little bit tired of cutting when you see in television. You see maybe a documentary, and the way they are cutting have so much influence on the viewer's opinion on what you're seeing. And that's why I've been a little bit more fond of doing streaming that you cannot cut in a stream. Of course you can, but you will see everything what's going on, even if something is not going to succeed. You see that too, because that's life. But
there's pros and cons to everything, but I think the problem with live stream is the fact that you don't capture the attention of the viewer. For a lot of people are just wanting to look on YouTube just to get a quick video, but you can probably say a lot in 8 minutes and cut it all up to make sure you can fit it all in 8 minutes, whereas live stream is kind of stretched out. But
I understand his, I mean that may be good discussion actually also, because I have not invented, but you have to have a special mindset for viewing live broadcast because, of course,
Yeah.
when it's live, it's have its own value because
Yeah.
it's actually happening right there.
Yeah.
And the good thing, also now with more or less, I have not really tested it yet with YouTube, but with the Bambusa facility and also Facebook, you can actually make comment right away and
Yeah.
ask directly into the live stream, and
I
that I can see really good benefit.
I'm
Yeah.
actually thinking, like, when we were talking about the magician before in our group, I think like live stream will be perfect to create a video for him because it's so easy to look at a video online and see that it's been edited and cut and think, oh yeah, but that magician's probably not doing anything. But if it's live stream, I suppose he's not able to cut it. So it's
And basically, we just have to acknowledge that it's two separate areas because
yeah,
it has its benefits and cons and pros, and also the normal for me video production has its pro and cons, of course.
yeah.
And
But this is
yeah.
video at the same time. We will be doing live streaming in the future when we do a workshop on it.
Because that could be my also training into it because I mean as you see it as a live documentary actually also I mean that's one of the reasons I also brought up when I'm doing live stream because let's say you're going to a wedding or a birthday and you have invited some people and suddenly one of the person or family member broke their leg, she can't
Yeah,
come or they can't come, and then they can still have a sense of what is going on to the wedding or the birthday
yeah.
or whatever that's going on, and
Do you
in
think
that
3D will become like the virtual reality will become live stream?
absolutely, I mean
Yeah.
that's absolutely the thing, and also these devices where you kind of steady cam
Oh yes.
where you can go around. Also, I have one in my bag actually. No, I don't. Not with me. Um, and so it be more mobile. So yeah, you will when you come to this Copenhagen small video project. I will show you. I hopefully also can show you some cool places where I have done some or maybe like broadcast some 360 degrees from trains, from cool places where you can see all around.
Yeah.
I hope to do that too, so you can see the effect of that.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, that could be cool, real
Yeah.
cool. So join over here if you have any interest in all we're talking about, because that will be, of course, now we're two people, so you get a little more intense. But when you're three people, 10 people, then you, of course, maybe split up in small groups and discuss all these kind of things. So
Yeah.
that also part of the
And
coziness.
create different projects. We'll be doing. I mean, like for example, the next couple of workshops that are coming up. There's 4 workshops coming up, and we're going to do 2, which is pre-production. First of all, we're going to plan it and script writing, just talking about that, and then
And
the
I
second
love
time
to
storyboards.
participate that because I have
Yeah.
no clue in professional way to do that.
Yeah, and the choice is yours as to what video you want to create. And then, yeah, so you'll be separating into group. Well, to begin with, we'll do our individual projects. Then, when it comes to production, we'll be separating into groups and deciding which person's pre-production work we'll use. And then afterwards, we'll be editing the video in those groups. And I think, yeah, and everybody's welcome to come. Even if you didn't turn up in the first workshop, you can go to the second workshop and so on. We can include you into the process.
And I believe, if I've understood correct, it will be kind of, let's say you have 4 specific workshop, and they will kind of continue,
Yes.
and we'll all
It's
get
like a
more.
Netflix series. It'll continue after each other.
Exactly, because we find out that's a good way to have a concrete way to attract people. It's a frame of what is going on, and
Yeah.
everything is known for the organizer. Also, that's part of the game too. That you have some routines to just to rely on.
Yeah.
Also, I think
I
I
think.
can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem at the moment is that I've only got time to do it every fortnight, but I would love to get this every week. And we are keeping it at the same time on Sundays in Babushka Cafe here where we are
The
now.
same place here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I was You also why is it you have also a Facebook? Why is that?
Oh, well, originally I was using Meetup, but I found it ever so confusing to kind of used, but it's been fantastic for finding new members. But being a video group, I can imagine that eventually we'll be producing more and more videos, and we've got quite a few solid members who are coming back all the time, and Facebook is a lot more convenient to be sharing information, to be updating people, to write comments on it, because I find like a lot of people don't check Meetup as regular as they check Facebook. So I really like the idea of a notification coming up and saying, oh, you've been invited to this event on Facebook, rather than going through Meetup, and a lot of people sign up to the group and then they never come back. And it happens quite a lot. And so I like the fact that Meetup got me a lot of new members, but now we've become a solid group. I'm wanting to move over to Facebook and leave Meetup behind eventually, because Facebook is a better platform to keep continuing with it, and I can imagine that we'll naturally start getting more members as more people know about us through other people and through the videos we're doing online. Naturally, we'll just advertise ourselves just by posting the videos, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have a YouTube account to upload all the video production they are done within the group, and so everyone can share and comment on each other's videos and everything. So we pretty much have the basic foundation now for growing, more or less. And yeah, I believe I have about 35 members in my group, but I have not seen them whatsoever.
Yeah.
And now they have to do something, and it could be go over to that to your group in all still in Meetup, as long as this is going on, as you decide to leave it there.
Yeah, Meetup's going to be there for quite a while yet. I'm considering continuing it just so people on Meetup are able
You kind of
to see the
when the
events.
group is filled up, like a limit, you put something out so more people can go in. Do you have a kind of request line, or how does it work when too many people?
I've basically got a basic account at the moment, which I can have a maximum of 50 members. But originally I was just deleting the people that were on Facebook already. But then I realized, like, after a while, it'd been like 3 months when certain people hadn't been on, so I'd been deleting inactive members and doing it that way. But yeah, but it's working. I mean, if people aren't really, I mean, I'm wanting people who are really into video, who really want to be going to the workshops, rather than people who are just like, oh, that's interesting, let's just say I'm wanting to be a member and then just leave it. So
So is it actually better now, maybe to, if you really know you, okay, maybe that's a wrong way of phrasing it, but is it better to direct them to the Facebook page right away, or do you like them still to find your meetup first?
The Facebook is fine because they don't limit me with the amount of members, and they don't get me to pay extra for like all these other extra things. And because it's a completely free group, I'm not making any money from this, and this is completely yeah, basically not making any money. I'm actually spending money on this.
So the short answer is yes. Go to the Facebook group.
Yes, yes, basically.
Great.
There's just too many.
No, it's good. It was good. I can see myself here when I talk. You can see it actually really short on my own. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no.
It's some internal thing.
Yeah.
But we had to. I mean, now it's. I was expecting between half an hour and an hour broadcast, and I think we might not have skipped something much over. I mean, maybe I talk rubbish now, but what I mean is that I think now it's your turn to say things in short. Help me here. But you don't know what I'm going to say anyway. But what I will try to say is I think we have covered most of the things now, and I was expecting between half an hour to an hour this broadcast, as I said.
Yeah.
So
you should definitely come to Copenhagen Small Video Projects and come down to Babusku on one of the Sundays. Unfortunately, it's not every Sunday at the moment, so you can't just randomly turn up, but just check out Facebook or check out Meetup just to see what sort of events are coming up. And we've got workshops, and then we've got meetings to look at the videos we've produced from the workshops, because you're going to have homework.
Will that be Sundays too?
Yes, it's always going to be Sundays. I'm trying to keep it regular just so people You know that it's going to be during this time on a Sunday, so you can just turn up and it'll be exactly the same place, exactly the same time. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun to be producing these projects in the future, and I can see this going into places where I can see this progressing into places where I never even imagined it to progress, to be honest. Because to begin with, it was only going to be a networking platform to get people to do projects together. And because I originally just wanted to create a video myself with somebody else, and I needed a partner to create these videos, but I just didn't find any platforms I could do that. But slowly, as we progressed, we had monthly meetings to begin with. They've finished now. I was getting a lot of input from people, trying to understand what people's needs are, what people's wants are. Of course, that process, I lose a lot of people in that sort of sense because they realise that there's not a solid group yet. But eventually, I knew something greater would come out of it. And as it became more and more solid, and now I feel like the group has become like this solid object. It's definitely, we're going to be doing workshops. We're definitely going to have meetings to see the videos that we've produced from the workshops, because of course each workshop is almost like a little bit of a class, except we feed off one another's knowledge. Because I'm not a professional in a sense where I'm not a professional with editing, but I kind of generally know the whole process in video making. So if I'm creating a workshop, then it doesn't necessarily mean I've got all the knowledge, but I know somebody in the group will have that knowledge. We have people from various different backgrounds that come to our meetups, and so it creates a good atmosphere of collaborative learning from one another. And then, of course, from that, we'll have our homework in a sense, where if say we do pre-production, we don't finish the script during the workshop, then you'd have to go home and finish the script, and then the next time you do a storyboard, and the next time there's the production, and then the group will have to meet again to finish the production, and so on. So it's still networking people, but it's always starting with the workshop, and to be able to get that excitement from people, and to be able to build that ambition and feed from one another, the ambition to do the project, to feed off one another, the knowledge that to be able to make better videos. And yeah, and I think already I had a meeting last Sunday, and already like we were talking about what we were learning in the editing workshop, and already we were talking about problems we were having with the editing software.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and being able to talk to each other about solutions. And we've all been watching YouTube and stuff, but it's so much nicer when you know. I mean, normally when you're editing something, you feel like you're on your own. Like in the past, I've been like on my own and trying to edit something, and then trying to look at YouTube to see how to do it. But then there's that knowledge that, say, me and Peter meet up, we've done the same sort of stuff, and then we meet up later and we go, oh, this is my video, this is how I did it. And then I was like, oh, I came across this problem, Peter. I didn't know how to frigging sort it out. I checked YouTube, I checked everything, and he might have already solved the problem. He might have found something and solved it before me.
And that's what I really like about this. I mean, when things really gone concrete, you can talk with ideation and conceptualizing a lot of things. But here you have workshop where you really get things concrete, and it's so much easier to deal with when you have this problem I have. So how anyone who can solve this, or we have a concrete discussion about some topic or something. So
Yeah,
that's really nice. And I was thinking, how did you sense the tipping point where it was kind of blurry and suddenly it kind of crystallized it out to some more regular, steady framework? Did you have any sense of how can you see when did it really
no, I mean,
change?
like, it's an evolutionary thing, and I at the beginning it was just like I literally just wanted to go out there and set up those meetings and ask people's opinions. What would you like in the group? And then, so I got a lot of different opinions, and I was trying to push the networking, but I could see very clearly that people had that drive when they were coming to the meetings, but then they didn't have it afterwards. And it was somebody, one of the meetings, they said, why don't you do workshops? And I was worried on the first workshop, like everybody, like, you know, when you first start out and you do the workshop and you're not getting as many people as you thought you would get to begin with. And I was really worried. I was thinking, oh, this workshop's not working as well. But then suddenly people were just arriving that were a little bit late. And then before we knew it, we had, I think, just 4 people. But it was nice. It was cozy and it works. 4 or 5 people. And then the next workshop, it was 6, 7 people. And so we've only done 2 workshops. And if we keep on increasing like that, and we keep getting those people knowing about our workshops, then and it'll keep growing, then of course it's a big success. So I think at that point I realized, okay, now it's solid. It was actually after the second workshop. Especially I was talking to people online as well and getting a lot of positive feedback. Yeah, just people congratulating me for doing this workshop and thanking me for doing it, and I realized that this is a very good platform to get people networking, to get people working together. And so I realized that is the platform, that is the way to go. But I don't know, it's still, I mean, I say that it's solid, but it's still not completely solid because I don't know exactly what all the workshops are going to be about in the future. The next workshop is very out. The first workshop was just an experiment, just to get people to do something, with 2 workshops. First just production, and then editing, which was just kind of shoving a load of random clips together. It's like when you messaged me, said when you saw my final piece, it was like I was trying to tell a story, but I didn't have the clips enough to tell the story to its full. Okay. We didn't have the pre-production like that. So this time we're gonna do something random again, and then do the pre-production, and from that I'm gonna get information from what people want in the group by seeing what they are actually doing, and see what people want, and then adapt to that in the future. So I'll be doing a workshop on specific things that they want. I've already thought, like when I was producing my video before, I was doing a lot of color correction, and I thought that could be a workshop in itself, just color correction, you know, and I can see the group going in that direction. But at the moment, we're generally just doing big workshops and everything in a basic kind of way.
And for me, it kind of makes sense, because when you enter this area, you have small bit knowledge, or even just some hints of everything in all that area, but nothing detailed or really solid that you could work on.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have this maybe a little fluffy in the beginning, because it's also still there.
Sorry, folks, technical problems. If you're reading this.
And this is a good actually test on what happens when it does it, because that will not be the first time.
Yeah.
But now, okay, we are actually recording again, I think.
Are we live again?
Running.
Yeah, the clock running. If you can see us, then yeah.
Just try to.
We're just making sure that we are live and you are receiving us. Peter's just trying to figure this out at the moment.
Is it a kind of button?
But yeah, I could talk about nonsense whilst he's trying to sort out these technical problems. So yeah, the Babushka Cafe is a really like a cozy cafe in Copenhagen near Nørreport station. You can come down anytime, and it has that kind of homely feel to it. It's got a lot of like not antique furniture, but second-hand furniture, and yeah, it has that kind of hipsterish kind of feel to it. And of course, Copenhagen has a lot of that type of people in it. I used to volunteer at a place called Cafe Retro that had a similar sort of style. Unfortunately, they went bankrupt. It was very sad for all of us. It was they were donating a lot of money to projects in Africa, but it just started out. Cafe Retro just started out with them sitting on a crate of beer and just selling that crate of beer. Are we actually broadcasting?
We are, for some reason, broadcasting still. and I can see we are live, so I think we just continue.
Can you hear us through the headphones, do you think?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe you could try and see if you can hear my voice through
Yeah,
the
I can
headphones.
hear myself
Oh, okay,
still.
yeah.
So we
so
continue.
maybe we're broadcasting sound and not video?
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah, so we have a couple of minutes here just doing rubbish, more or less, because we realized that the video internet link maybe not been that stable as we expected here, but,
yeah, but we can
you can hear us.
we can finish off.
So yeah, I will just shortly recap that what I was trying to say is that you, when you go into video, or this way we are working, the way the workshop is working, as I see it, is that we have this broad way of looking on it. Maybe the first round of 4 workshop, when you do the round again, then we have so much more knowledge, everyone. So we could go much more into depth.
Yeah.
So if you're really professional, you might wait a season of iteration of workshops, and the 5, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Redoing the workshop routine.
But I think it'll be great because we got like these workshops are separated by 2 weeks. It'll be great if somebody comes along and says, "Oh, I know how to do this, and I'd love to do a workshop on this." And then in like some of the weeks that we're not doing anything, you guys could come along and just say, "Oh yeah, I'd like to set up this workshop." And
so kind of mingle in where you're doing your workshops, and then other can put in their own workshop.
And we feed off each other's knowledge.
Yeah.
And we do it that way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because of the, for some reason, bad link, internet link, you can hear us, but that's not, maybe, I don't know. I could say a lot of things, but we will just more or less finish off our video broadcast here, and then more or less also 45 minutes we have been broadcasting from now, and I think you got the message. I'm stopping my meetup group, Demo Scene, today, 12 midnight, and you are invited over to Chris's meetup group or Facebook group called Copenhagen Small Video Projects. And have you a final word for that?
Well, I hope to see you at the workshops, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all.
Next one will be
next Sunday.
Next Sunday here, like.
Yeah, we're having a meeting next Sunday too. But if you're coming to the meeting, bring along your own laptops with your own videos that you've done in the past, and just show us your work. Or you don't even need to bring anything. Just bring yourself and just have a look at what other people have done, and listen to the discussions that we're going to be having. We're just talking about the videos that we produced in the last workshop.
So I think that will be it, and thank you for, maybe you have seen live, maybe you will see it on demand, and you can contact me here if any questions appearing during the stream, or have questions for Chris, and you can always use Google to look up for Copenhagen Small Video Project. Then I will maybe come. I've not done that. Have you done that?
I've not done that, to be honest.
See what's happening.
But search for us on Facebook.
Yeah. So thank you for now, and hopefully see you sometime in another broadcast from here. Peter saying hi, and this was Chris.
Yeah,
bye.
I'm saying bye.